What's up, guys? Welcome to my podcast. Thank you so much for visiting Sunny Days in the USA. My name is Sunny, and I am a Japanese college student in the USA. In this podcast, I talk about the life in the States, college life, my hobbies, and also I interview some amazing people who have awesome experiences either in Japan or abroad.Interviews are done in neither Japanese or English. However, my personal episodes are recorded in both languages. The first part is in Japanese and the other half is in English. So you can skip to whichever language you prefer listening to. 皆さんこんにちは。私のポッドキャストへようこそ。Sunny Days in the USA へお越しいただきありがとうございます。私はアメリカで大学生をしているサニーです。このポッドキャストでは留学生活、アメリカ生活、私の趣味等や素敵なゲストを招いてのインタビューをしています。インタビューは英語か日本語のどちらかで行っています。ですが私の個人のエピソードは前半が日本語、後半が英語になっていますので、お好きな言語でお聞きいただけます。Thank you so much for tuning in today, guys. Today, the episode is in mostly English, I think. This episode is with my favorite Japanese powerlifter, Kanan. We connected through Instagram because of powerlifting. And it is very rare to find somebody who does powerlifting in Japan. That's how I feel.And she is a 52 kilo powerlifter based in Japan. And she grew up in Australia and came to Japan to attend college. She studies exercise physiology in undergrad. And I think she's graduating in sometime near future. And we got to talk about her experience in both Australia and Japan, as well as our common hobby.パワーリフティング。今回のエピソードは52キロクラスパワーリフター、日本の大学で、運動生理学を勉強しているカナンちゃんを招いてのインタビューです。彼女とはインスタグラムでつながりました。オーストラリア育ちのカナンちゃん、オーストラリアの英語が素敵ですね。本当に。で、彼女とは日本の大学についてだったり、文化、専攻について等を話しました。Alright.Please enjoy our conversation. Okay, so could you please introduce yourself real quick? And at the end, if you could just give me favorite subject and least favorite subject in college.
Okay, well, my name is Kanan Kasai, and people call me Kanan because it's easier. And I'm actually 23 right now, and I'm a university student.Yeah, and I'm full Japanese, but we might talk about this later, but I actually grew up. I spent most of my life in Australia growing up, so there's my English. And yeah, as a hobby, I do powerlifting, which is how you and I got, connected. And yeah, it's been a few years since then, so yeah.Awesome. And favorite subject in school. Well, I study mostly sports stuff, like sports science. So I really do like the sciencey subjects. Even though I'm not very good at it, I do like studying things like biochemistry and other stuff like that. Exercise physiology, biomechanics, and stuff like that. It's very interesting. And least favorite, I think.I'm not very good with language. I don't know if it's something to do with me being bilingual. I don't know. I'm not very good with words. So literacy and stuff like that. I guess I'm not that. And psychology and culture stuff as well. I have a hard time getting my head around. So,
I feel that psychology. That was my least favorite for sure.
It's hard.
Also, biochemistry. You need to take that.
Not really. I don't need to. But in Japan, you can pretty much choose any classes that you want.
Okay.
yeah, you don't pay by class.
Mm-hmm.
You pay for the whole semester the same amount,
Oh,
and you get to take whatever you want.
really?
So you get to do like classes that medical people are taking as well. So
Mm-hmm.
like anatomy and
Mm-hmm.
physiology, basic physiology, biochemistry as well. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So
Yeah.
what happens if you're taking one class then?
What do you mean? Oh, you still pay the same amount. Yeah.
Oh, that
Yeah.
sounds like interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. That's cool. That's cool. Awesome. And then you kind of talked about it, but what is your major? And then have you always been interested in the field?
Okay, so I do exercise physiology as my major.
Mm-hmm.
And first, I actually went into a university like without knowing what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you can pretty much do that in Japan. You don't have to be very clear about what you want to do.
I see.
So I started wanting to study something like international relations.
Mm-hmm.
I first went in as that.
Mm-hmm.
And then as I started like getting into lifting and stuff, it was like a good time for me to change my
Mm-hmm.
major.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that. And that was 4 years ago, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. And has it been pretty interesting? I see you doing research and stuff like that, but is it pretty intense?
Well, it's pretty chill to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But we're actually writing a graduation thesis right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's super like interesting to know to put everything that happens in a body and like our knowledge that we
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, the things that we study to be
Mm-hmm.
put into practice and actually see for yourself what happens,
Mm-hmm.
like depending on what you're interested in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's like been a very like interesting experience for me.
Yeah,
it's fun.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
it's cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So all your classes are in English or in Japanese? Mixed?
All of them is pretty much 90% is in Japanese.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's...
which I struggle a little bit, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I see you like reading literatures and stuff like research papers and stuff like that in English, and then your thesis is in Japanese.
Well, I'm writing mine in English.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's everybody writes it in Japanese, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for me, like English is my stronger language.
Right.
So it's better for me to read it, take in information in English,
Mm-hmm.
and not having to have to translate that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know much about scientific language in Japanese.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
I'm trying to write it in English, and hopefully my professor will be on the same,
Yeah.
wavelength. Yeah.
I see. So your professor does speak English or
Well,
kind of?
I don't think I've never spoken with him in English, but he's a professor. So
Uh-huh.
so I'm guessing that he is kind of aware of I don't know, like probably English.
Yeah. That's
Read English.
right. That's better for you just because English literatures are more worldwide and people can access to it better. So
Yeah, for sure,
yeah.
definitely.
Oh, I would imagine it would be so hard translating it to Japanese. Japanese is very difficult.
Yeah.
Even I am a native speaker, but then I struggled a lot.
Yeah, it's not easy, especially when it's written everything in like completely different terms, right?
Mm-hmm.
Terms that you wouldn't use in everyday life.
Right.
Yeah, it's like a whole new language for me, which I'm
Yeah.
not. I don't think I can from
Mm-hmm.
at this point. So I just
Yeah.
wrote it. Yeah.
That's awesome. So I guess did you have to go through like the Japanese system to get into the university, or did you have like a different window because you lived in Australia?
Yep. So I am full Japanese,
Mhm.
Japanese nationality, right?
Right.
I grew up with these, and there is a system called hikokushijo. You probably know, yeah, which I got through there. So it's like a lot. I guess it's I don't know if it's fair to say this, but I guess it's a lot easier for me to get in that way. Like, the university that I go to now, which is Yokohama City University, I got in through an interview and a small exam.
I see.
Like a small essay. And there were only like 16 people applying. And yeah, I was lucky enough to get into that one. But yeah.
I see. So was the whole process in English or in Japanese?
It was in Japanese in my school. But I tried to go for another uni in I went to Jochi, which I didn't get in, by the way. That was I had to write my essay in English.
I see.
There are tons of people like me, like a lot more than I expected. So it was a lot harder for me to get into like a big school in that way.
I see. That's crazy. So how did you? I mean, you speak Japanese just fine, and how did you maintain that? Did you go to Japanese school in Australia, or your parents taught you, or how'd that work?
I don't know if my Japanese is perfect. I mean, my communication levels is fine. Like, I know how to communicate and not struggle too much in school. But I went to Australia when I was like 7, and back then I could only speak Japanese, right? And then maybe 2 years on, I got, gist of like the whole speaking English and stuff like that. But I probably maintained it only by speaking to my parents. I didn't go to any Japanese school or anything. Yeah, and I still struggle a lot with kanji. Yeah, which is it's very I don't know, it's like a new language for me.
Yeah.
But other than that, business language as well, I'm not very good at. But other than that, I have no problem, I guess.
Do you have problems with Keigo?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's I don't know.
Yeah, I still do.
Yeah.
When I'm writing an email, like it's hard to do like kenjogo to sonkeigo to ka itadakimasu to ka. Yeah, it get me confused all the time.
Yeah.
And I feel stupid because like I sound stupid and I hate that. I hate sounding stupid. So I was like, god damn it, I should have learned a little bit better. So
yeah, story of my life, it's fine. Yeah.
That's crazy. So your parents, did they I guess like required you to speak in Japanese at home, or were they pretty chill about it?
First it was like, you have to speak in English because you got better in English, right? Better at English and stuff. But as time went on and we like, I don't know, when you spend 2 years in a foreign country, you kind of start to like understand a little bit. You can speak fine. Right. And then my parents I was like, oh no. They're gonna forget Japanese. So they're like, speaking Japanese in the house. So but they try to make me speaking Japanese at home. But it's like, it's weird because I speak to my siblings in English, right? But it's hard for me to be like, for them to be now speaking Japanese. Like, it's hard to speak to your siblings in Japanese when you've never really spoken to them in Japanese.
Right. And you have a sister? Sorry.
Yeah, I have a little sister and I have an older brother.
Oh, I see. Yeah. And your sister's in Japan, right?
Yeah, she's in Hokkaido right now.
Studying. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Very
cold place. And do you guys speak in Japanese or English?
We speak in English right now. Yeah. She's not very good at Japanese. Yeah.
The younger sisters or younger siblings always get that, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, my boyfriend's family's from Mexico. They speak Spanish, but then my boyfriend is the oldest. He speaks Spanish just fine. His little sisters, they're little rusty. So
really?
Yeah. I mean,
but in the States, like everybody, a lot of people speak Spanish, right?
Right, but then I'm in Nebraska, which is like in the middle of nowhere. So there are Hispanic people, but then they don't really need to speak Spanish in daily life. So which is interesting. I bet it's hard. Like I think about it now, like if I have kids, it's hard
Yeah.
to force them to speak in Japanese. I have to teach them Japanese, so
Yeah. It's, I don't know how I'm gonna raise, if I do have kids,
Mhm.
then like what do you do for you to raise them as a bilingual? Like,
Right.
do you just like how do they know what is
Yeah.
English, what is Japanese?
True.
Like it's that's all very confusing for me.
Yeah. How were you confused at the time when you were growing up? Like switching to English to Japanese, or you go out there and everybody's speaking English and you're like, why are everybody speaking English? Or I don't know.
For me, like when I was so I went there when I was 7. So I only knew Japanese at the time. So
Right.
I always been taught like whatever foreign language came through my ears.
Mm-hmm.
It was all okay. That's English.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I could differentiate between what's Japanese and what's English.
Right.
So it was. I guess it's easier for me. Maybe.
I see. That's crazy though. Wow. Okay, so we were talking about you growing up in Australia, and then you came back for 7 years ago to Japan.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, when I went to university. Yeah.
I see. Any surprises? Were you always visiting during the summer or anything like that, or you just came back like 7 years ago?
No, I was visiting New Year's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to see my family once a year.
I see.
So,
Wow. And any surprises coming to Japanese university? Was it something that you were expecting, or was it something you were like, oh boy, what did I get myself into?
Well, first I was super excited about coming back because, it's my country, right? And my parents are Japanese, and my family, I guess my grandparents are all here as well. And it would have been like, I had this like mindset, it would be so like amazing studying, in Japan. And it is, it's great.
Right.
But I guess it's like a reverse culture shock thing really did hit me. Like, the whole classes thing, I was very surprised. Like so you can take 24 credits in a semester, right? 24 credits. And one subject is 2 credits.
Okay.
So when you're freshman, you take maximum of like 11 to 12 classes in a semester. So you do it one subject per week. And then, so it's like, your brain just really freaks out when you try to take in 12 different subjects in yeah, which was a bit of a surprise for me. But other than that, the culture difference, the whole senpai, kohai, who's above you, below you kind of thing really confused me. And I had a bit of trouble in freshman years because I couldn't really understand the culture that much. Yeah. So that was very new. And when you go to a Japanese university, you actually have to study the first year. You got to be flexible. Like, you got to be ready to take in everything. Like, you go into university knowing what you want to study, right? Well, other people did. But you have to take tons and tons of other classes, like something that's nothing to do with your subject. So like computer classes, or like psychology classes, and economics and stuff like that.
Right.
And you try to study that, and everybody is like, okay, I didn't come here to study all these things, and you got to do that for a year or 2 years or something like that, which really made me, I don't know. Yeah, it killed my motivation a little bit.
Right, for sure.
Yeah. But
so so general education requirement is a little more intense in Japanese universities then? They require you more?
Yeah, I guess you have to there's like a list that you have to clear in order to graduate.
Right.
And then you got to go through that list, no matter if you like it or not. Yeah, you get some sort of freedom, but you could end up studying pretty much like a typing lesson, and you have to take that so you can graduate.
Wow. That kind of sucks, because the whole purpose of going to college is like you focus on something that you're interested in. But Oh,
Yeah.
that kind of sucks.
Yeah, it was a hard time for me. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's all good. Yeah.
Yeah. So you mentioned about like senpai kohai stuff, but did you have any troubles or struggles with the relationship with older or younger people?
Yeah, probably. I think I was very good at hiding it, but in Japan you do a lot of like club activities like
Yeah.
bukatsu and sakura and stuff like that, where people like do their sport or their activities after school. And I when I just got into uni, I went into like a dance
I see.
sakura. Yeah. And then that was like the senpai kohai thing was very strict in that circle.
I can
For
see
me,
that.
I was like, didn't understand. They like, I don't know. It was a nightmare for me because everybody's like talking down to you.
Yeah.
Right? And then I'm just here being like, I don't like, maybe I was a bit selfish, but I was like, what like did they do for me to like respect them and for them to talk down to me like that?
Yeah. Oh, I feel the same way. I was thinking the same way, and then I got in trouble like a lot of times.
Yeah. And
Senpai
then I quit. Yeah.
Quit?
Yeah,
you quit
straight
it?
away. Because I don't know. Back then I didn't understand. And then I don't know, I kind of had an attitude, I guess. I was very young.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I didn't do anything to deserve this. I'm going to quit. Yeah. But now it's not easy, right? Yeah.
Right. Now you feel like you kind of got a hang of it a little bit?
Yeah, for sure.
Or you do kind of carry that attitude, like, you don't got nothing to respect, so...
Well, probably deep inside, I might have that. But on the outside, like, you know, if I have to speak Keigo for them to be cool with me, then I will. Like, no problem. Yeah, if that's what it takes.
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And then you do part-time sports club, you said?
Yep, I work at a sports club.
Right. You have to do like Keigo and then 接客しなきゃいけないから.
Yeah.
You have to be very polite and all.
Yeah, and I actually teach gymnastics to little kids in my sports club right now.
Yeah.
So, like, communication with the kids as well as the parents. Yeah, it's been a very interesting experience. Yeah.
How are the parents? Japanese parents, are they a lot?
Yeah, they're most of them is very good. 90% is very good, but the 10% is a bit of a pain.
For sure.
Yeah, because we got Japanese parents could be very strict, and some maybe it's not only with Japanese parents, but they want their kids to shine.
Right.
So they would tell me that they could do more than they actually can, like the skills in gymnastics.
Yeah.
And you would have to explain to them why they're still doing certain things because they're not ready for that.
Right.
Certain, skill. Yeah, and it's a bit of a pain. Yeah.
That's cool though. Sounds like you're like enjoying the college life in Japan.
Oh yeah, I'm learning a lot about culture. More about culture, to be honest. But
yeah, for sure. And then, what's your favorite part or favorite parts of living in Japan? I don't want to say meals, but the food.
Yes, number one is probably food. The food is amazing, right?
Yeah. Yep.
You like Japanese food, right?
I mean, I don't like sushi and stuff. I don't like fish, but like everything that you post on Instagram, I was just like, oh my god.
What about like okonomiyaki and takoyaki?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah, it's good. Probably food is number one. Like wherever you go, there is different like food specifically. I don't know, like that come from that place. So they have their special food, like every city almost, which is very exciting. And the richness in culture as well is very good. I traveled a little bit as well this year, last year through Japan.
Yeah.
And, like wherever you go, it's like a different scene. Like, so, and the people are very polite. The service is very good, as you probably know.
Yeah.
And everyone's super polite, rich in culture, good food.
Mm-hmm.
And those are some things.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I guess not so favorite parts.
Well, my favorite was the culture, but sometimes Japan takes tradition way too seriously, so there is no room for improvement or growth. So they're very strict in their traditional ways,
right?
But they find it hard to, I guess, accept other like culture and other opinion and stuff like that. So they're very set in their ways, which I find very hard for me to get around. But other than that, few things. But it's been good, most of all. It's fun.
Compared to Australia, do you prefer living in Japan or in Australia?
That's a good question. Probably Australia was very nice. It's a lot of freedom, a lot of space. Japan doesn't have much space, so everything is very put together. A lot of space. The people are very different. So I guess Australia, it's more laid back. So if I was to raise my kids, I would probably raise them in Australia. But I do miss Australia because I am away. But other than that, I enjoyed both sides, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Equally. But probably Australia is like a better environment for children, I feel like. Yeah.
And your parents are still in Australia?
They're here. I live with them right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. But I mean, you still have a home over there as well. Like you have friends and stuff like that. That's always nice.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, and they come visit me and stuff as well. So
yeah, I saw your friends coming from Australia. That's awesome. Did they like it?
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah. She really did enjoy the food as well.
Yeah. That's awesome. Your friends thought it was kind of weird in Japan, certain things, or were they like just surprised with everything?
She was telling me how nice everyone was in the countryside. Like they were all smiley. They were trying to teach her, like strangers were trying to teach her Japanese. But when she got to Tokyo, I don't know, it was weird because everybody's so different. Like their attitude is a lot different. When you get to Tokyo, they're a little bit more colder and don't really care about you that much, I guess what you're saying. Yeah. I kind of can understand. Because Tokyo is all about, I guess, Japanese people have that side of politeness, the whole omotenashi side of them. But when you're like get put into one of like the busiest cities in the world and all that matters is time and money, then I guess I could kind of understand how they get like that.
Definitely. In Tokyo, I felt like nobody cares for you and then nobody stops for you if you ever needed help. So that's kind of overwhelming for sure. All right, so I want to talk about the powerlifting. So when and how did you start powerlifting?
Okay, well, I really want to ask you the same thing too. I started powerlifting maybe 2.5 years ago. A little bit more earlier was when I first started prepping for my first meet.
Awesome.
And and how did I get into it? Like I was already into fitness at the time, but I was just training just for fun. And I wanted to look good and stuff like that. And that's how I started training. But I was scrolling through Instagram and people are lifting heavy shit, like heavy stuff, and it's, I don't know, for me it was like very like, wow, they can do this. Like they can they can lift this much with their bodies, and I don't know, something was very like amusing for me that I wanted to start trying. And I guess the fact that your strength get put into numbers is something that I really liked. So you can see with your own eyes your progress, whether you got strong or not. And with just training for, I don't know, for fun, you don't really know if you're progressing.
Right.
Sorry. But powerlifting, yeah, like you can see through numbers if you're doing good or not. So I guess that's what really got me hooked. And I guess my boyfriend at the time was very supportive of me, and he was a very fit person. So he really pushed me to like get out of my comfort zone.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Well, I felt like when I was in Japan, you know, just whole stigma of girls being smaller or like skinny. So I didn't really feel like everybody was supportive about you gaining muscles and stuff like that. But how do you feel now that you're training and, you know, doing powerlifting? Do you have anybody make negative comments about it or anything like that?
Well, the fitness whole trend is coming through to Japan right now. So I guess that everybody is more accepting. But of course, a lot of people are like, oh, women's not supposed to be that muscular. And my parents thought the same as well. Sorry. I'm running out. Yeah. I think I'm running out of charge. Yeah. My parents thought that as well. So they were kind of like freaked out about me doing all these things. But as time goes, like, yeah, it didn't really matter anymore. And I guess I spent a lot of my time in Japan like breaking that what is it? That whole women, you're supposed to be this certain way, because I was always different in Japan. So it didn't take me that much courage for me to start doing something like powerlifting. Right. People, that's really weird. Because I was already weird at the time. You know? I always felt different in Japan, even though I was Japanese. So I guess it didn't take much for me to get into that sport. Yeah.
Awesome. And then how often do you compete usually?
Well, last year, probably like twice a year. But this year I'm planning on doing a big meet. So I'll probably be competing 4 times this year. Yeah. Which is pretty exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And where would that be? In Tokyo?
The first one, so I'm trying to go into, there's like 2, I don't know how to explain it. There's like JPA so which is like the Japan Powerlifting Association, and the other one is like Kokutai, which is still organized by JPA, I think, but you have to like compete at a prefectural meet and then get what is it, you got a place or something, and then you got to compete at a regional meet and place, and then you get to compete in this Kokutai. So
I see.
So got to do a Kanagawa one, and then a Kanto one, which is a regional meet, and then hopefully the big one, the Kokutai, in I think it was August.
I see. Yeah. And then I would assume you fall into open division.
Yeah, open now.
Okay. So how big of a powerlifting community? I just have no idea.
I don't think it's that big, to be honest. Like compared to the States, it's nothing. I think. Not too sure, but how many people? Well, they just raised their qualifying totals for next year by like the guys, they increased it by 100 kilos because there were so many people. Yeah, there were so many people competing, so they had to like cut down some people.
Yeah,
so raised it by 100. I think the girls, it got raised by maybe like 20. So I guess it is getting bigger, but it's still tiny compared to the US.
Yeah, and I see that there's like a club or bukatsu in some universities, powerlifting bu, I guess.
At big universities, yes. They do that. It looks really fun.
Yeah, and then when you go to competitions, are people pretty chill? Like, do you get to talk to them, become friends, or are they like kind of stuck up?
Definitely because Japanese people take things way too seriously sometimes.
Yeah.
But in powerlifting, I guess it's really on the chill side. Like everyone is pretty happy.
Yeah.
But yeah, some people could definitely like take it way too seriously. Yeah. But most people are chill. Like, like everybody who powerlifts is very, laid back, right? I feel that way sometimes. Yeah.
That's cool. And I've asked you about this, I think, before, but how do you like program yourself? Do you have any coach, or do you have anybody helping you, or do you just do it yourself?
Yeah, I have a friend in Fukuoka, and I maybe you know him, but Jackson, yeah, I don't know. He appears on my Instagram sometimes, but yeah, he coaches me.
Oh,
and he's half American, so he can speak English. So he's very smart. He's a very smart guy. So he pulls like all this information from like, the States and stuff like that. And he does all my programming and coaching for me.
That's awesome. How does the program look like?
So I guess it's like a daily undulating periodization way. But right now I'm doing a lot of, so I squat 3 times a week, deadlift twice, and then I bench like 4 times a week.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it's like lots and lots of variation. And we go by weight each week or reps. And I have a lot of variations right now. Like I have tempo squats, I have like pause squats, I have doing front squats and high bar and stuff like that. And yeah, and with deadlift, of course, like doing conventional and sumo right now, since I'm a bit far from my meet. So I'm doing a lot of variation.
Yeah.
So I have my heavy days and my light days.
I see. Like and how many times do you train? Like 5 days a week?
5 days a week, yeah.
Okay, and then how long do you usually train for?
I try to cut it to an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It goes a little bit longer than that.
For sure. That was the only problem I had. I just had a really heavy semester last semester, and then I just couldn't get myself in 2 hours of training, and I just couldn't.
Because I was wondering why you weren't training.
Yeah. So I just had I had 20 credit hours, which is like 8 classes in the States. And college, so it was a lot. And then I had like chemistry and biology and all the shit, and I just couldn't do it. And I was so sad. I lost everything. I can barely squat. Like I don't know kilos, but I guess 20 kilo, the big plates, and the 20 kilo bar. And I'm like feeling it in my quads, and I was just like, oh my god, I lost everything. So I'm so sad, but I'm getting back.
I know how you feel. You just gotta build it a little bit and stay consistent. I know it's hard though.
Yeah, because you got injured recently, didn't you? Your back?
I tore out my back in June. Gikkurigoshi, I think.
Oh.
I didn't really, and I also had like sciatica, on my left glute.
Yeah.
I struggled a lot actually last year. Like there was times I couldn't squat the bar.
Wow.
Not even like I was doing like these like pin squats that are super high.
Yeah.
But I still had to train, and I was doing rack pulls the whole time with the bar.
Oh wow. Wow.
And then slowly got back. I rested a lot, maybe like 3 weeks, and then I did get a little bit better by resting. It was like time for my nationals as well. And me and my coach were kind of like, I don't know if we should compete. But I did decided to compete. I couldn't pull sumo. So I had to pull conventional. But it was it was a successful meet, I guess.
Awesome. ぎっくり腰って結局何?
I guess it's I don't know because there's no word in English.
Yeah, because ぎっくり腰, I thought like old people get it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, what were you doing? Was it like something instant or was it like a chronic?
Yeah, it was. Oh, it was cute. It was like super, but it wasn't even that heavy. I was doing sumo deadlifts, right? And it was my back off set. And after my first rep, I felt, I guess something does touch your nerve. I don't know. I'm not very sure about it, but I felt something like a stinging pain through my whole back, and then I had to like drop the bar. After that, just could not move. Like, but apparently a lot of, I don't know, a few powerlifters do get it.
Yeah. I mean, I bet, you know, like, but it's you use it a lot, so that's crazy.
Yeah, and then after that, it was my glute was in a lot of pain, and it took me a while
for sure.
Lots of stretching though. I stretched my glutes.
Yeah, it's no fun, but
it's good now.
And then you feel like things that you learn in college, like exercise physiology and stuff like that, do you feel like it helps a little bit for you to apply when you're training or anything?
To be honest, not necessarily, but it's good to know the background, because studies sometimes could be not very practical, right?
Right.
So that you do study cannot be used in everyday life. There is just no way of applying it really. But some things like supplementation, it's good to know like the background of it. Yeah. But other things, I don't know. It's just fun for me to know these things, but it doesn't necessarily apply all the time.
That's true. And then your gym, I mean, your university gym looks really cool. You got like racks and benches and all that stuff. Is it very typical of all the universities?
No, it's not. I don't know why my university has so much equipment, but I think they renewed it 4 years ago.
Oh,
and
wow.
I don't know. I was a part of that a little bit, and then try to throw in some ideas and stuff. But even before that, they had really cool machines. Like there are not many universities, like public universities, that has a bull bench, and squat rack,
right,
and a deadlifting platform as well. Like we have a pretty shitty one, but it's still there,
Yeah. Because usually you can't drop the weight and stuff like that.
No. Yeah. And nobody's watching, and it's like we have a trampoline, massive space.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I don't need much more than that.
Right, for sure. Yeah. Well, that kind of raises your expectation and standard for the gym.
Yeah.
Cool though. All right. So do you have any, I guess, advice for people? I was going to say study abroad, but then people who want to get out of their comfort zone, any advice for that, tips, maybe wise words?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm good enough to give out wise words. I don't know. I guess it's easier for me because I always grew up being the weird person, like the very different person. Like wherever I went, I was the weird one. And I guess maybe it's not a very good way to put it, but you get kind of used to it. And that's why I'm not very afraid to try certain things right now, where other people would be like, oh, I don't know if I should do this. I don't know, it makes me nervous. Like for me, I guess that nervousness is very like toned down for me because I've always been different.
Right.
So I don't know, maybe exposing yourself to like challenging stimulus all the time, really, you do really get used to it.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know. And that's the worst that could happen,
Right.
Yeah. I mean, even though now I do struggle with challenging new things, but I don't know, I try to really consume a lot of information from different things, and it's very exciting for me because I love learning new things, and it's cool. Yeah.
Awesome. Any New Year's resolutions? New things you want to try?
Well, I really want to get a motorbike license.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
My
badass.
dad is heavily into motorbikes, and
Whoa.
that's something that I've never really wanted to do. But now I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try this.
Yeah.
And I really do want to. I hope no one in Japan who powerlifters is listening to this, but I really do want to place top 3.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Um,
Awesome.
especially coming back from my injury, it'll be very nice.
Yeah. How your weight class looking usually?
I'm in 52 right now,
Mhm.
which is what's that in pounds? 112? I don't know.
Yeah, something like
One-
that.
Yeah,
So about
Yeah.
that.
52. So I try to keep it there. I'm sitting around 54 right now.
Yeah. Oh, you're just fine.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. And
Yeah.
so I guess lastly, where can people find you?
Mostly, well, the only thing that I have is my Instagram. It's
Okay.
Kanan.pl, so it's KANAN.pl for powerlifting, and that's my username. Yay!
Awesome. All right, I'll just link that down there and then write that out. If people have any questions, they can follow
Yeah.
you, text you.
DM me, and I'll try to answer as much as I can.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you so much for taking your time today, this morning.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Of course. All right, what did you think about our conversation? I love her accent, and I have an accent as well. You know, I have Japanese accent, but isn't that so cute? Like, how? I wish. So I hate my accent, right? But I wish I had like British or Australian accent, because they sound so cute. And oh my goodness, I need to learn how not to interrupt people. I don't know if I'm not patient enough, or like I have so many questions that just come to my mind constantly and I have to ask all the time. But I do interrupt a lot, and I am so sorry, Kanan, if that bothers you. And yeah, thank you so much for checking it out. I loved talking with her, and I wish her the best of luck. I think she has competition soon. So, and please check her out on Instagram. She is so educational. She posts a lot of things, very informational stuff, informative stuff. There you go. So yeah, I will link all those things down below, so go check it out. Alright, this is a wrap for this episode, and please do not remember to smile, love, and respect others. There's so much things that are negative in this world, but let's make positive changes every single day. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Bye bye.